you know, move into the early game skirmishing focus and, you know, prioritize that. But either way, our next map here is going to be picked by Superstars, and we're going Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is Cheese City for Saray.
Why is that?
Tomb is his place. The first time I ever got to play with Saray, I got to hear his train of thought on some of the games. He had this tankless solo support Tassadar absurd composition. I'm not kidding you when I say it never lost. It was on. He loves the map manipulation here. It's very unique and creative. And so this is an area where we might see that come out for them. Again, they have stuck to the norm so far. But this is one of the maps where I know in the past he's had, you know, he's been in the think tank and come up with some creative stuff.
I wonder if he'll want to do that, though. They've been doing fine keeping with standard play.
Exactly.
And especially with those types of compositions, once you use them, they're done.
Yeah,
they're one and done.
The one-hit wonders there. Yeah, it's very true. You know, you might want to hold off. But I can dream at this point, you know. I need a little bit of that. No Tomorrow here, going to be the first pick. What is it going to be? Are you, in fact, going to ban the Tassadar? Or is it going to be the Ragnaros? So far, that has been the absolute staple here for North America. Last week, bans all over. This week, we only know 2 heroes.
Probably not going to be Cho.
You never know, man. The Cho ban last game was out of nowhere. Tassadar ban. Expect the Ragnaros.
Yeah.
What's the first pick, though? I believe in you.
Malfurion?
Is it the Malfurion?
I think they're probably just going to go for Artanis again.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
that hurts my brain. I don't want to see Tychus. I don't want to see Artanis. I don't want either one of those heroes. All right,
Gul'dan,
I'll take
yeah.
it. I'll take it. Gul'dan is a pretty solid one. Can't ban too much around with the... You can't really hurt that pick. It's pretty, well, with the bans at least.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is somehow taking away all the supports that work best with Gul'dan, but if Superstars picked up like Malf here, then No Tomorrow could respond earlier by just making sure to get a support before the ban phase. So I enjoy that pick a lot for No Tomorrow. He's going to offer a lot for wave clear. Horrifies can make Superstars a little more scared to go into a super melee aggressive composition too.
I think picking up the Malfurion in this rotation is in their best interest, just not to get choked out of some of the better options later on. So going with Malf, but then what else are we going to see out of Superstars? Probably going to be the Vala?
Or do they Artanis?
Or they go with the Artanis. All right. They go with it. Artanis is the choice. I'm surprised to see him have such prevalence on such objective-oriented maps like Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Both of the teams, too, have been just trading out Artanis constantly. I mean, he's been a constant force in other drafts for other series, often in the bans. But to see them just have this agreement of... That is...
Ooh, high prioritization of that Rhaegar.
Yeah.
When Ariel is an appealing option, it shows that they really want the cleanse. I can't think of another region. It has to just be we want the cleanse very, very much. If we aren't willing to move into some of those other heroes, and then it's going to be the ETC here for No Tomorrow. What does that mean here for Superstars?
Well, it does mean that it's a little bit harder to gauge what they should ban. There's no way of taking out warriors, supports, range damage dealer. I think probably it will be something like a solo lane hero. It could be Zarya if they don't want to give shielding too.
I think that would be a really good ban. I think Zarya is a really solid ban for Superstars. They go with the Tychus instead. See, I was going to suggest Tychus because it's been so dominant, but then also the Tychus results so far, and then even for No Tomorrow, haven't been pretty enough for me to be like, you know what, I really need to get rid of this. We'll find out here. Superstars now with Diablo off the table. Are we going to see any focus put on to Johanna in that double warrior once more?
So solely because it's Superstars and Stray, and they're up against Gul'dan, and we've seen it a little bit in Europe, any chance for a new Barak here?
Yes, there is. I think it's a really small one. Only because they don't have enough wave clear in the rest of their pick options to really justify it. So, like, if that Artanis was any other hero, I would be like, I could see it, you know, like a traditional warrior. I just don't see it with the Artanis by himself. I do like the idea of it, a new Barak. I think I would wait maybe until last pick to be able to pop that one out there, but that's a good point. It's something I kind of didn't even think about, really.
5 seconds to lock in 2 more.
Not surprised. Very. Superstars loves their Vala.
They do.
They pretty much Vala day and night.
You know, that's kind of their style, though. It feels to me like they pick one hero, and then that hero is the constant. No matter what else goes on, we're going to make sure we keep picking up this hero. It's happened at other events, too.
Yeah. All right. Well, they do have a very very, you know, a solid composition. The Tyrael Greymane rotation comes out here for No Tomorrow. I was going to bring up that fact that I thought a Tyrael would be good with the isolation on Warriors in the second rotation and having the Gul'dan and ETC synergy there, but Greymane as the last pick is not what I expected here. Forfeiting a smidge when it comes to their wave clear department and doesn't really complement their kill potential that well. He does a little bit, and then Johanna there, Force Array is the last pickup. So a triple warrior, much like that we've already seen from the drafts on the side of Superstars, running heavy front line, shields a little bit, solid support, and you got your trusty Vala.
All right, we've got both. Do you have a favorite of the compositions?
Definitely going to be Superstars, just because they stuck to what they know. It's pretty solid all around. I think it does well in the wave clear. It just does everything decent, and it fits what they like to do. I don't think maybe it was most optimal, like considering every hero possible, but it is a team who has already shown to possibly be the better one, sticking with what they know, and you can't go wrong with that as long as things were looking good in the first part of the series.
I do think that the momentum is heavily focused for Team Superstars. So I think that they can clutch it out here, but I want to see No Tomorrow really bring it, because this is the last game potentially of them for the series. So here we go into game number 4. Superstars up 2-1 in this series.
And you talk about the hype, right? The hype that could exist within these type of composition, or excuse me, within the composition on the side of No Tomorrow with having that Tyrael Greymane. Like, they could turn it around. It could be flashy, it could be sweet. We already see a Flask build coming out. But I always look at the early game and a lot of the struggles that exist there. So Artanis, Tyrael just over time just loses the 1v1. The 4-man Greymane doesn't provide that much. ETC doesn't. Rhaegar does accent with the Gul'dan. But Vala, Johanna, Malfurion, and Zarya, those all have better wave clear overall. So there's a shot. It's just, you know, maybe starting out a little bit too slow. We saw it last game too for No Tomorrow. They were like, well, we picked decent in these scenario, in these, but Superstars just all ins. And if you don't have the response elsewhere onto the map, you don't really have an answer, period.
And both Greymane and Gul'dan take a while to stack up. Greymane doesn't even get his stacking talent with Flask build until level 7. And then it takes a little bit to get those stacks. But Talking Trees did get Echoed Corruption really fast. I expect we'll see them continue to have Gul'dan in the 4-man just like this, so that he can land a ton of corruptions just to try to finish that talent, that questing talent, as fast as he can.
Yeah, and this lack of rotation here has been enough to be able to punish Superstars and now split up their 4-man, sending it to more of a 1-3-1, negate some of the losses they've seen on the map, even transitioning to the bottom lane to get that clear is going to be Tiger JK. Interesting to see this constant shift in rotations between these teams.
Yeah, with very focused or heavy focus from No Tomorrow, trying to look for picks as well, even knowing that it takes them a little bit of time to ramp up their damage. And it's nice to see from No Tomorrow that they're understanding of what's going wrong for them. They're losing in the early games, so they need to try to bring the aggression where they can.
I'm just interested to see Superstars' choice here to match the aggressive rotations that we see on the side of No Tomorrow, rather than just, you know, what if you 3-man top, apply pressure elsewhere? Because they're committing to mid and then they're sending to bottom. So they're essentially getting a free 5-man through the mid wave, which is why they're falling behind. But if Superstars commits a full 4-man to top, suddenly that's an unreasonable trade on the side of No Tomorrow. So I'm just surprised that it's not the end of the world. That might be, though, for Trees. No, he will be able to survive. It's just, again, a scenario where, you know, if rotations are most optimal, is Superstars really getting as much as they could have? And I feel like they are struggling a bit, but in the end, all it's costing them is maybe a couple shots on turret.
What if they moved someone into the bottom lane and did the 2-1-2 where wherever No Tomorrow shows up,
I mean, they could.
They push elsewhere.
They have such good wave clear, they can honestly get away from that. The only problem is typically you want somebody with other self-sustain other than Malfurion, and they don't have that, but Zarya and Artanis have enough shielding, they definitely could get away with it. The 4-1-4 is a 2-1-2 is a rare approach to the game, but probably the most beautiful when done perfectly. Zarya pops the Iron Skin, he's on retreat. Turning attempt here happening on the top half of the map as Superstars gets their pressure. The collapse is not going to be enough here. So 22 gems turned in, 22 in their hands on the side of No Tomorrow. Meanwhile, one more minion wave and we see Superstars has 50 available, but none turned in. That was such a overly aggressive rotation there from Faye. That vault should have gotten her killed, but no punishment. Urho missed the power side.
No Tomorrow, this was in the same situation that they were in last game, where they initially had a better setup in the rotation lanes, in the bottom lane, but then lost a couple of people that prompted Superstars to get the first 100 Zerg, and then from there never really let go. Or if you want to say, never have that lead taken away from them by No Tomorrow. So No Tomorrow are trying to continue to control both of the turn-in points, but at the same time play this line where they don't get caught too far out. Jason is in pretty deep, but should have disengage if he has to move away. You really want to go after this kill here. Iron Skin is used pretty early, but it will allow Johanna to get back.
Is that the first time Iron Skin been used early in this game? The past two, it hasn't been punished either, but that is something we have to keep track of. Because, you know, one mistake is all it takes in that Iron Skin use, and it really could cost Johanna her life. Saray tries to get the channel. Casanova is going to get the delay. We also see Harajic Reforging at level 4 on Tyrael. One of the few examples we've gotten here in the HGC North America. So we'll see if that helps with the delay, the initiation here and there for No Tomorrow.
Only 5 more gems needed from No Tomorrow to get the first turn-in of the game. Echoed Corruption's about halfway done, so is Prague Rock for Airho's ETC. Greyman's been trying to turn in bottom, while members of No Tomorrow pull members of Superstars up at the top. It's cleanse that has to be used on Faye, but it keeps her alive.
Yeah, and just this game is all about the wave clear for now, the focus onto the turn-in, and No Tomorrow has put a reasonable amount of concentration onto that, but without being able to achieve it, it doesn't really mean much. Also, their siege potential isn't as effective until Gul'dan's Echo Corruption is going to be completed, which is still quite a bit away as he is sitting around that 66% mark once more.
The story for this has been that Superstars have delayed No Tomorrow from getting those 5 gems in for a long time. Greyman keeps going down to the bottom, but keeps getting stopped. And then he moves up to the top, and Stray has his number there too. The guardianship, if you will, of Superstars has been impressive over these turn-in points, and that does delay it to later on. So if No Tomorrow can finally get a turn-in, then maybe because of that, because it has been spent so long, then they can get enough towers to get heroic abilities. But I think it's very impressive how Superstars have been able to stall this.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to be able to do much longer. There goes Goku once more. There is an attempt to turn in for Superstars into the top lane as Goku is on retreat. 20 have been turned in there. But Iacona just managed to get the tap, so he will restore his mana. That was what I was concerned about, but it doesn't matter because in the end, No Tomorrow gets the turn in.
And they have been able to put a sizable amount of pressure on the bottom lane. No ammo in those towers. What's up?
I made a mistake. That's a react. Okay, that was my bad. I misread the level 1 onto Artanis. Now I was critical. I'm critical. Well,
go ahead.
I'm critical of Artanis on this map, but I'm really critical without amateur opponent. Not being able to get rid of that quickly and get in the trade. I don't think that the block is going to be enough to really compensate. It does feel like when heroes that are as crazy, you know, as Artanis post rework come out, that a lot of the times we do have players fail to kind of consider the accent onto the map itself versus just the raw, you know, flash and skill power of it. And again, it comes down to like even on this map, this priority, and then still not being able to do anything on the map objective. It hurts me a little bit on the inside, you know.
I think, again, it was just for the solo lane status, especially if he was up against Greymane.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for the, it does accent the solo well. It's just, I don't know if it's enough to really justify that prioritization.
Heroic abilities for both sides. Suppression Pulse goes down, but Blessed Shield misses. No matter, Superstars have had a pretty good defense, though. They kept all of their forts alive. The only one close to dying is in the mid, and Artanis is there to make sure that no further minions will push in. So a great defense from Superstars. And because of that, they're not behind at all, which is so nice for them, looking to turn in gems. Now they just need to get those turn-ins because Srey has 52. If he gets caught out right now, this is going to be a problem. Iron Skin has gone down, and that gets him out of trouble. But as long as Srey has those gems, fighting is scary for Superstars.
Yeah, it is really scary for your warrior not being able to sacrifice those. And it's kind of the point of having Johanna here. Hosi maybe caught out. There's going to be a lot of cooldowns burned to be able to peel him out with the roots. But he should be fine. Goku is under pressure here coming out from Jason. Jason will win this trade in the long run. But good heal coming out from Iacona as Casanova moves forward. But, oh, that swap, very well done. But it doesn't matter. Go for the throw, kills Artanis. And that is all that's going to be necessary. Twilight Dream stopped Sanctification from going off. And there's no Ancestral to be able to get that land, but it does not matter. Malfurion falls down as well. And, you know, a moment here for No Tomorrow to pull ahead, or at least, you know, even the odds.
It was nice for No Tomorrow to get a second kill from Archangel's Wrath. And through all the zoning, too, because he was in a tough spot. He got swapped into the base of Superstars, and then once he Eldruin's out, then there was still Expulsion Zone keeping him away. So the best he could hope for was to get his team another kill, and that's exactly what he did. Tyrael will be back up now. So are the rest of the members of Superstars. Superstars still have 91 gems they would like to turn in. 71 of those are on Srey.
That is no fun.
No.
And Trees will confirm the turn in there.
Yep.
He was able to get it. I couldn't tell if that blinded actually had removed it. So having that is huge for that cooldown to be used. And that Mosh Pit is going to be using the Sanctification as well. One cleanse is going to get Goku right on out.
Rain of Vengeance used fairly early Ancestral Healing, but it's good to keep trees alive. You never know how much damage exactly is going on to a damage like that. So it's a good Ancestral Healing swap. Hits Casanova. There's no gems that'll be lost here. Maybe Casanova can do enough damage to allow his team to get another kill. A kill on Srey would be awesome,
like,
but not so
please let me
much.
get this turn in now. There's one man down. Zone. Is he going to get it?
Yes.
He will.
He still has 45.
He's almost got enough for a secondary turn in. Either way, that is a huge moment here, not only to get the gems off the warrior, which is typically the hardest to be able to get the zoning off of, but then also it's just in the fact that the counter turn-in has now been available. I do expect Superstars to be very, very aggressive here and try and capitalize on this. Again, it is one of their favorite maps overall, specifically, at least Srey for a long time has enjoyed this map thoroughly.
You know, this is the first game that no one's had a huge lead early on.
Yeah. That's a good point. So what does that mean?
I think what it means is both teams still are able to go when they need to go.
Oh, yeah?
Which is very important.
Which is what they need, is what you're saying. That
they
both
need
struggle.
to be doing that.
They struggle on hitting the go button when they're behind, but if things are even or they're ahead, they're fine. So the fact that we made it this far, both teams have a relatively accessible go button.
Casanova jumps in. I love roots around Eldruin's Might too. He doesn't end up using it, but had Casanova jumped to Eldruin, there would have been roots there to catch him. Potentially netting another kill for Superstars. Superstars instead, swap goes down. There's Casanova into the middle of the team. Twilight Dream, so no Sanctification and Ancestral Healing misses its mark. Tyrael is down. No Tomorrow is running away. Another swap. Goku is on fire with these swaps.
Yo, shout out to Goku though. That first swap actually happened by using his W onto the sidewall to increase the gap faster, and then going into that, it's just a small added bonus there, which mechanically is a bit more difficult, so very well done coming out from Goku. And then Tiger JK, his Ancestrals this game have been late every single time onto the swap. That being said, I can understand his thought process, largely because you have the Tyrael, you don't want to be using it solely on him. And you don't think that the burst is going to be enough, but then once Twilight Dream and everything gets used, suddenly, very quickly, Tyrael's health bar is diminishing there. So Tiger JK definitely going to have to hit the Ancestral button a smidge earlier here if they're going to be doing well.
Yeah, it seemed like Casanova was probably in comms like, I'm fine, I have El Druin, and then by the time you see Twilight Dream hit, then it's a situation of trying to get there in time so that Tiger JK can Ancestral. But this is a moment where he could, if he needed to, Horrify down for 15 more seconds, but so is Twilight Dream.
Yeah,
Swap, Casanova again is caught. Follow up, Bruce gets a solo Sang. Not a good situation to be in for No Tomorrow. They realize it. They're trying to move back. They're next to this Webweaver too, and Goku again throws a swap. This one is huge. Oh. Jason and Talking Trees caught. Expulsion Zone right in the middle. This is going from bad to worse for No Tomorrow.
And then the root on top of it, Twilight Dream as well. 2 kills here. Let's see if Hosie's going to be able to confirm another. Meanwhile, Webweavers in all 3 lanes here have been smashing into No Tomorrow structures, and 16 has been achieved. Very well done. That team fight was all over the place. And it all started with a little Artanis there. Goku making a name for himself on another hero.
He is. His Goku swaps, this game in particular, have been insane. And because of those plays that he's made, as well as we have to call out, Iacona has been right behind with entangling roots, just like that. Jason jumps right over them, but someone else is caught in the roots. That is Tiger JK. Expulsion Zone stops Greymane from running away, and Airho will go down too. This is, man, Goku is just rocking this.
He is. He's, you know, he started the snowball, what looks to be an avalanche at this point. Another turn-in available. 16 talents here. I would expect a boss turn-in play coming out here from Superstars as they position up towards this boss. They're going to be starting on it. Is there even a chance? Not really. Horrify is the only tool, and the transition might be slow enough on the bottom and being 2-man down. It's very unrealistic. So this is going to be the boss going over to Superstars to turn in to be able to back it up. They'll apply pressure to the top enough to confirm the keep with the boss in the turn-in. Bottom should go down over time. So it's a dream scenario to be in right now. The only thing that could go wrong is that turn-in attempt, and Saray is there to perfectly goaltend.
Again, we see Superstars with just perfect positioning where they need to be. Starting the turn-in, bosses up top being dealt with. By the way, Incendiary Elixir is done for Jason. They have 16. Let's see if that's what they need to be able to make the defense.
I can tell you what they don't need. Another Goku Prism running at their face as the back line suddenly becomes the front line. Casanova has to stay out of position and get the follow-up with his Eldruins. We'll see if that works here. Goku's combo is now available. I expect him to use it past this keep possibly. There's the power slide in via aggression. Good Zarya shield. He's yet to go in. There's going to be the swap attempt. He's only hitting the Rhaegar, but he's not in a bad spot, so he's going to be okay to retreat as Urho looks for the body blocking, Gilly.
I thought maybe we would see a Horrify come out from Talking Trees too once Goku was in the fight, but still hasn't used it there. Finally drops Horrify, and still No Tomorrow can't get a kill off of it. Casanova is the one who's in trouble now. Gets swapped into the team. Sanctification, and Goku goes down.
Yeah, the Sanctification was enough to be able to peel. Iacona needed to hit that Twilight Dream a half-second earlier, and so we'll see what this is able to gain them. Keep in mind that top is not done too much damage, and mid is going to be looking for core, but it should be able to be cleared up quickly, and bottom started so far back here that that's going to be a good old, you know, lane to lane to lane clear here for No Tomorrow. They are still significantly behind in experience, but it is a small window for them to come back.
And they have enough for a turn-in, so clear out all of the Webweavers before Johanna can get back, try to get a turn-in, push out the lanes already. We see ETC doing that in mid, clearing out so that the team can run in for a turn-in. How much can they get done with that, though, is the question. They're still fourths up.
Not much. Yeah, so it's actually scaling on a multiple turn-in play is really the only thing you can do. So banking into a position to where you open up the map enough into one area to where you can try and counter turn-in on the other the second that everything goes down, and if not, at least get a kill because your opponents can't goaltend 2 at once, is what you should be looking to try and make happen. The biggest problem here is that bottom and top, again, are not primed in any way. And the game is not accelerating them forward at all. It's amazing to me, and how little concern it is to the side lanes. Yes, eventually they do catch up, but it's very easy to, you know, prime them, make sure you get the fort at the same time, snowball the experience a little bit quicker, and maybe help No Tomorrow catch up in this game. But for the most part, North America very much just worries about what's the farthest Webweaver, and we're going with that one.
I guess the situation was with Bruisers already in mid, they were hoping they could escort them as far as they could, as well as get the turn-in just as fast as they could before Superstars could get back out on the map and stop a turn-in, win a team fight, and win the game with the keep down. But No Tomorrow need all the experience they can get to catch up to Superstars who are well on their way to 20 talent tiers. But importantly, No Tomorrow made the play they needed to make. At that moment, the Sanctification kept Casanova alive, and now they are at least in a position where they can come back into this game.
Yeah, they very much are, and this should be the 20 spike after this front wall and one more structure. This turret isn't going to be enough, but trickle down might be. Here it is. It's pretty close there as they're sitting only about 10% away. If they can further keep, they definitely will end up having the 20 spike. Superstars actually, I think, are going to get trickle-down experience before they will. See if they aggress. Sray goes in. They're going to try and force this. They do have the 20 advantage, and instantly, No Tomorrow manages to pick it up.
Oh, Holy Ground is good. Hits a Goku. But the suppression pulse landed on so many members of No Tomorrow. Turnaround, Sanctification, Ancestral Healing hits on Talking Trees. Twilight Dream went down too. Another swap. It hits Airho. Goku this time finding the connection on a swap to be able to get a kill. And now the chase can continue. Talking Trees will be the next to fall. Casanova doing what he can to help the rest of his teammates. But Jason dives into Oblivion being taken down. Casanova is like, well, at least I'll get these gems along the way. And almost Eldruin's out. Loses the gems. And that should be the end of the game.
I don't actually know that confidently here. You're right. They won't have enough to be able to get the dismount. Tiger tried, and especially with him going down. That is going to be it. Superstars will slowly make their way here through the mid lane, right-click the core, and they will be able to take the series here, Gilly.
3-1, but still such a great showing for Superstars, both in the last series and this one. Yes, they have definite things that they can work on, but for a team that everyone expected to come in and only be able to cheese their way to victories, and if you know where the cheese is coming from, then they can't do anything, that is absolutely not the case here for Superstars. They're playing meta heroes, and they're playing them very well.
I agree, and I guess when you asked me at the very beginning of today, what was the series I was looking forward to the most, and that was going to be Teammate and Superstar, because both were a pleasant surprise after week one, and I think both were the exact same reason. It's you expect them to run one way, they do change things up a little bit, and they're still surprising with the coordination, the skill between the team overall. Very well done, and being able to take out No Tomorrow, which I think before all this started, I looked at No Tomorrow as like, a future possible prospect for North America. But quickly, Superstars, closes that out.
Yeah, a lot of people had expectations for No Tomorrow, but No Tomorrow also did do a lot of things right, and they definitely still have a future here in the HGC.
Yeah, I very much agree.
Now I'm waiting for us to be able to talk. It sounds like maybe we're not going to get to talk to a team member today, which is too bad. I really wanted to ask about Artanis, but we might just yet. For now, we're going to look at the updated standings to see where all of the teams lie after the series we had today. Tempo Storm moves up to join the other two teams, Team 8 and Gale Force Esports, who are 2-0. But again, and Superstars is there too. So now you can see the way that they are ranked is because of how many games they have won or lost.
Every team that's won them both. Every team that's lost them both. It's interesting to see that that's how it played out. A perfect split down the middle.
That is rather crazy.
I think Gilly told me there was no gap between North America and top 4 and bottom 4, but that chart says otherwise.
We haven't seen any of those top 4 play each other, though, to see if there's anything there. So you wait, sir. So we're going to have our Skype interview. And in fact, I think Iacona is ready. Hey, Iacona, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Hey, buddy, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we wanted to ask about Artanis. You guys and No Tomorrow were both really focusing on getting Artanis, and we've seen a lot of bans. So what would you say is his biggest benefit coming to a team, and what you guys are looking to do when you can get Artanis?
I think Artanis' biggest benefit is the swap. Like, it doesn't matter how far behind you are, you can always get a really good swap that can just turn a game. So that's honestly the biggest factor for why I guess you see so much Artanis play.
And what about when you guys have to go up against him? What is the strategy generally that you guys are looking at? Is just avoid the swaps?
Every 3 seconds, someone says in comms, watch for a swap, watch for a swap, watch for a swap. And then constant reminding. And then we know, especially after he gets the double swap, to make sure we split. So if one person's getting swapped, they're not taking a buddy with them. So that's just the biggest thing, honestly, is just in our comms, we're constantly keeping everyone aware of what cooldowns the enemy team has and what to watch for.
Awesome.
I mean, I don't even think I really have anything to add, honestly. Like, you guys played very, very well in your guys' series so far. Things did get a little bumpy here and there, and, like, one thing we noted is that you guys struggle a little bit when you aren't ahead of your opponents. When you're ahead, everything's easy, but when you fall behind, it's a lot harder to, you know, make the decision to be able to pull the comeback. Do you guys ever feel like you notice that yourself, or are going to make any changes, I guess?
Usually I feel when we actually get behind, it's because of bad drafts is the biggest thing. So that's like, so we can like try to come back, but the biggest thing in general is trying to make our drafts more consistent so that we never just really have a game where we have a bad draft.
I mean, it makes sense, so.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Iacona. Do you have any shout-outs before you go?
Yeah, shout-outs to everyone out there watching and tuning in. It's really great. Thanks you all for coming out. Shout-outs to you, Gilly and Dredd, for casting. And shout-outs to everyone at Blizzard for actually putting on this league. It's a really great thing, and I'm really excited. Looking forward to everything that 2017 has to hold.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Congratulations again, and good luck versus Teammate on Sunday. All right, guys, we have an updated schedule looking at tomorrow because we have so much more Heroes of the Storm left this weekend. We're starting out at 9 a.m. Pacific time, where Team Dignitas again will play, this time versus Tricked Esport. And then Misfits will take on the Playing Ducks, fresh off a victory from today.
And for North America, we are going to have Tempo Storm take on B-Step, and Team Naventic take on No Tomorrow.
Tempo Storm versus B-Step, an interesting series after a tough weekend for B-Step, having to come in and play versus Tempo Storm. But, you know, Tempo Storm has seemed like they're struggling a little bit, whether it's the drafting, the meta. Something is not quite clicking for them either.
Yeah, definitely. I think it can't just be a drafting thing, right? At this point, it has to be. Maybe today was an off day, but things are not what they once were, I guess, in the world of Tempo Storm. So, yeah, I very much agree. But B-Step, Tempo Storm made huge changes in draft from last week to this week. So if B-Step did the same, it could be, you know, a closer series than maybe what most would project.
Well, guys, that is it for us here at the Heroes Global Championship for the night. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow, where we'll see you for more awesome Heroes of the Storm action. See you then.
Everything that I do in my life is working towards getting on to the big stage of video gaming.
I don't want to get second place this year. Like, I'm going for first. I won't be happy unless we win.
My name is Andrew Rodriguez, and I go to University of Texas at Arlington.
Daniel Lee, and I go to University of Connecticut.
My name is David Young, and I go to school at University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
My name is Michael Udall, and I go to ASU.
Heroes of the Dorm is an amateur tournament focused on college teams, playing not for prize money, but for tuition.
This is my first year competing in Heroes of the Dorm. Gaming at first was just a hobby, but now it's kind of evolved into part of my life.
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona. Gaming was definitely frowned upon.
I would think, gee, what a waste of time. You guys ought to be studying algebra or anything worthwhile.
My parents used to hate when I played, but now they're like, this is so cool, you're going to Seattle for playing a video game.
Hello and welcome to the Heroes of the Dorm Heroic Four. Here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, 4 college teams have come to battle it out. We started over a month ago, and now we have Tennessee, UT Arlington, UConn, and Arizona State.
We all felt really good after the win, but we came here to win the whole thing, so the work's not over yet.
You don't reach that level without the dedication and the focus and the endless hours honing your craft.
It's going to take a determination and discipline, just like succeeding in anything in life.
It's intense. That's the best way to put it. Until you play the game and try to excel at it, you have no idea.
An outlet like that where students come together and share the same interests. That's what it's all about.
This was the future of esports that we imagined.
Taking a lot of damage, he blows up in a matter of seconds. Shot low on HP, but the board with another. They are going for the core. They're going to be able to save it in time, and it goes down. GG.
I was once a far strider. I swore an oath to defend Silvermoon and its people to my dying breath. It was not enough. My homeland still burned. But those days are long past.